Emily Carter never imagined that a simple act of kindness would change the course of her life forever. On a quiet Tuesday evening, the 24-year-old waitress found herself working another long shift at Joe's Diner, a small establishment nestled in the heart of their bustling city. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting a soft glow on the worn linoleum floor as Emily moved between tables, her white blouse and black apron a familiar uniform she'd worn countless times before. Before we start, take a second to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support keeps these real stories coming to life. Now, let's begin. As the night wore on, the diner emptied, leaving only a handful of regulars nursing their coffee cups. That's when Emily noticed him, a small boy no more than 8 years old, sitting alone in a corner booth. His oversized hoodie hung loosely on his thin frame, and his sneakers, once white, were now a dingy grey. The child's eyes were fixed intently on the laminated menu in front of him, but Emily could see the hesitation in his posture, the way his fingers nervously traced the edges of the plastic-covered pages. Without thinking, Emily approached the booth, her heart aching at the sight of the young boy's worn clothes and the unmistakable look of hunger in his eyes. "Hi there, sweetie," she said softly, offering a warm smile. "I'm Emily. Can I get you something to eat?" The boy, Liam Torres, looked up at her with a mixture of surprise and embarrassment. I don't have any money," he admitted quietly, his cheeks flushing red. Emily's smile never faltered. "That's okay," she reassured him. "How about I bring you our house special? It's really good, I promise." Liam's eyes widened with hope and he nodded eagerly. Emily turned and headed towards the kitchen, her mind already made up. She would pay for the meal herself, a small gesture that she hoped would brighten this child's day. What Emily didn't realize was that her act of kindness had not gone unnoticed. Sitting quietly in the far corner of the diner, partially hidden by the shadow of a large potted plant, was Richard Hale. The 52-year-old millionaire had stopped in for a late-night cup of coffee, seeking a moment of normalcy away from his usual world of board meetings and business deals. Dressed in an elegant blue tailored suit that spoke of wealth and influence, Richard blended into the background of the humble diner, observing the scene before him with growing interest. As Emily returned from the kitchen, balancing a steaming plate of chicken pot pie, Joe's Diner's famous house special, Richard watched her approach Liam's table. The waitress set the plate down gently, along with a tall glass of milk and a side of fresh vegetables. "Here you go, sweetie," she said, her voice warm and encouraging. "Enjoy your dinner." Liam's face lit up with joy and gratitude. "Thank you, Miss Emily," he said shyly, picking up his fork with eager anticipation. Emily ruffled his hair affectionately before moving away, allowing the boy to eat in peace. As she passed by Richard's table, he caught her attention with a subtle gesture. "Excuse me," he said quietly, his voice low and refined. "That was a very kind thing you did for that young man." Emily blushed, not realizing anyone had noticed her small act of generosity. "Oh, it's nothing," she replied modestly. "Everyone deserves a good meal, especially growing kids." Richard nodded thoughtfully, his eyes twinkling with an emotion Emily couldn't quite place. "Indeed," he agreed. "Tell me, Emily, that is your name, correct? What made you decide to help that boy?" Emily paused, considering the question. I just saw someone in need," she said finally. "I've been there myself, you know. Times when a little kindness would have meant the world. If I can make someone's day a bit brighter, why wouldn't I?" As she spoke, Richard found himself captivated by the young waitress's sincerity and compassion. In his world of high-stakes business and cutthroat competition, such genuine kindness was a rare commodity. He made a decision then and there. This young woman's life was about to change in ways she couldn't possibly imagine. Over the next hour, as the diner slowly emptied and Liam finished his meal with a contented smile, Richard engaged Emily in conversation whenever she passed by his table. He learned about her dreams of going back to school, her struggle to make ends meet while supporting her younger sister, and her unwavering optimism despite the challenges life had thrown her way. As closing time approached, Richard stood up, smoothing down his impeccable suit. He approached the counter where Emily was tallying up the night's receipts. "Emily," he said, his voice kind but authoritative, I'd like to speak with you for a moment if you have the time." Curious and slightly apprehensive, Emily nodded, following Richard to a quiet corner of the diner. "I've been watching you tonight," he began, "and I've been incredibly impressed by your work ethic, your kindness, and your genuine care for others. I believe you have great potential, Emily, and I'd like to offer you an opportunity." Emily's eyes widened in surprise. "An opportunity?" she echoed, her voice barely above a whisper. Richard nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "I'm the CEO of Hale Industries," he explained, watching as recognition dawned on Emily's face. "We're always looking for individuals with strong character and a genuine desire to help others. I'd like to offer you a position in our company's charitable foundation. It's entry level, but with room for growth and the chance to make a real difference in people's lives." Emily stood frozen, her mind struggling to process the unexpected turn of events. But I don't have a degree," she stammered. "I'm just a waitress." Richard's smile widened. "Education is important," he agreed, "and part of this offer includes a scholarship to complete your degree while working for us. What you've shown me tonight, compassion, initiative, and a strong work ethic, those are qualities that can't be taught in a classroom. They're the foundation of true success." Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as the reality of the situation began to sink in. This was more than just a job offer. It was a chance to change her life, to pursue her dreams, and to help others on a scale she had never imagined possible. I don't know what to say," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Richard placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Say yes," he encouraged gently. "Take this chance, Emily. You've earned it with your kindness and your heart." As Emily nodded, barely able to speak through her tears of joy and gratitude, neither she nor Richard noticed the small figure watching from just outside the diner's front window. Liam Torres, his belly full and his heart warmed by Emily's kindness, smiled to himself before turning and disappearing into the night. He couldn't have known the full extent of what had transpired, but he understood one thing clearly. Sometimes a single act of kindness could set in motion a chain of events that could change lives forever. In the days and weeks that followed, Emily's life transformed in ways she never could have imagined. She began her new job at Hale Industries' charitable foundation, throwing herself into the work with the same passion and dedication she had shown at the diner. Her natural empathy and genuine desire to help others quickly made her an invaluable member of the team. As she pursued her degree in the evenings, Emily often thought back to that fateful night at Joe's diner. She thought of Liam, hoping that wherever he was safe and well-fed. And she thought of Richard Hale, the millionaire who had seen something special in a simple act of kindness. Emily's story spread throughout Hale Industries and beyond, inspiring others to look for opportunities to make a difference in their own communities. Richard, for his part, began implementing new corporate policies that encouraged volunteerism and community engagement among his employees. Years later, when Emily had worked her way up to become the director of the Hale Industries Charitable Foundation, she never forgot where her journey had begun. She made it a point to visit Joe's diner regularly, always leaving generous tips and keeping an eye out for those who might need a helping hand. And on quiet nights when the diner was nearly empty, she would sometimes sit in that corner booth, smiling to herself as she remembered the night when a simple meal and an act of kindness had changed everything. Emily Carter's story had become a testament to the power of compassion, a reminder that even the smallest gestures of kindness can have far-reaching consequences. In the end, it wasn't just Emily's life that had been changed. Through her work at the foundation, countless others had been given opportunities they never thought possible. And it all began with a waitress, a poor child, and a millionaire in a quiet diner on an ordinary Tuesday night. When stories like this remind us of the good in the world, it's worth sharing. A quick like, a comment, and a share can spread that hope even further. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay with us for every story we bring to light. And if you're ready for more inspiration right now, our playlist is waiting. Thanks for letting us share these moments with you.